As an input, as the first place, we need to enhance the tourism in the special zone. We can use money, advertising, make more hotels, rise services. So that will be good for us.
So if you're talking about here, say you can build infrastructure with the hotels, we do advertising, then we would do, so it's becoming more than one, isn't that so? But let's just take one, we're talking about one program. Advertising, okay?
إذا بدنا نحكي عن المدخلات فالمدخلات حسب ما أخذنا هي بتتضمن أن يكون مالي وبشري ومادي. المالي كماني وايز والبشري ممكن نحكي إنه في تداخل قطاعات كثيرة اللي هي مثلا السلطة مع القطاع الخاص بالمنشآت السياحية الموجودة بالعقبة بهالشارع، المجتمع المحلي، وزارة السياحة، كمان بعض الجهات اللي بدها تكون معنية بالبنية حتى تكون مؤهلة. وخلينا نحكي كمان بدنا مواد دعائية، بدنا حملات تسويقية، بدنا إعلان.
Right, so we need a lot of things. But in the organization, you will run a project. Right, one project. For example, the project I am working on in terms of making sure that we are having a sustainable tourism in this area, I will say I'm going to start off with developing a policy, developing a document. Right. And then I will say, in order to develop that policy, I will need my people that are going to do it. I would need information, I need data, there may be some statistics, I may need some funding if I want to go to certain places and talk to people. Right, so those are my inputs. My activity would be to start writing that strategy. Isn't that so? To have stakeholder discussions on what I'm putting into the strategy. To make sure to take it to the legal section and say, what I've got in my strategy, does it make legal sense? Am I not putting in things that could put us into trouble? Those are my activities. I would have a draft document, which I will consult on. I will put in, after discussing with everyone, I will put in all the changes and the comments, and I will come up with a final strategy. It's my product, my output. Isn't that so? And the result will be that with this strategy, I will be able to implement what I have there. I will be able to monitor what is there. I will maybe even have some time frames. All right, so that's one project. But under the same thing, we could have different projects. We can have communications about our strategy, right? So there's a lot of activities that are going to go under that. We're going to have somebody developing the strategy, right? So we're going to have a few other things that will fit in there, and then we would have to bring them all up to say, at the end, in this unit. Now, why I'm pointing this out is to say, when you work in a unit, I don't know what you call them. You call them directorates, or you call them branches. What do you call them? Where there's a head underneath the SDG, or the DG. Who is it? Directorates. Now, in that directorate, you will have many projects. Isn't that so? In that directorate, you'll have many people working with you. And each one will be doing their work. So, we are talking here about a directorate with all the projects, all the different people who are heading up these projects. They would now take their things and put it into, because it all has to come eventually for the directorate. You will have to have one thing that you are producing. Although there are lots of other projects and activities. Does it make sense to you? Do you follow what I'm saying? So that is why we say we have to see how all our work fits into one thing. We don't work alone. We work as a team. Right, so everything that you put into your planning has to be done in terms of how you would be with a team. Now, the other thing we spoke about when we were here, we spoke a little bit about the problem tree, you recall? Now, what are you going to tell me about the problem tree? And why did we talk about the problem tree? This was supposed to be the test. If I gave it to you in writing, we will be having a few problems. Yes. Let's see, who else wants to guess? Iyad, you want to guess? Rashad.
Actually, we use probability to identify most of the problems affecting our project, to find alternative solutions for the project.
And it's opposite to our code. It's opposite to the cause of the project.
Yes, absolutely correct. If you're going to speak in your mind because he wants to hear what you are saying, right? Please make sure you speak in the mic when you're speaking. So the problem tree we developed to identify the problem, the causes, what is causing the problem and the effects that it is having, and to identify the core problem. Now, a problem tree is used mostly in public sector when we want to plan a project, or we are developing a policy, or we are solving a problem. All right. I also heard yesterday when I was talking to somebody that some of you are aware of the fishbowl. But we don't use the fishbowl generally in the log frame and ROB. The fishbone is used mainly for systemic change. Right, and I won't talk to you about the fishbone. You know the fish, you know the skeleton of the fish. Right. Normally you just have the head is the main problem, and then you start with the fishbone looking at all the things, all the components in an organization, and you use it for systemic change. But we don't use the fishbone, we use the problem tree, because that makes more sense to us. Right, now let's go to the next slide. Now, I want to just point out something here, maybe that you didn't follow yesterday or you didn't have here. Now, anybody is going to explain to me what do we mean? We are on slide 7, I think. Slide 7? We did this yesterday, didn't we? Yes. Now, you want to explain to me what I mean by the very top part of this. What do we mean by ultimate outcome? What do we mean by ultimate impact? Yes, great. There's no confusion about it. Final outcome, ultimate outcome, impact are all the same. So there's no confusion about the word. Alright? Great. Now, when we talk about outcomes, we said we have different kinds of outcomes. We have the immediate outcome.
Yes.
We have the intermediate and the impact or the final outcome, or you can call it the last outcome, whatever you want. Right? We're talking about the impact, the big thing. The immediate outcome, when you're preparing your documents, when you prepare your planning documents, the immediate outcome is reflected in your executive plan. Alright, I don't know, I've heard that is what you call it, the executive plan, which you prepare together when you're doing your budget. Yeah?
هلا لا هلا في فرق بين هلا يعني نحن خطه استراتيجيه ينبثق عنها اكشن بلانز، يعني خطط تنفيذيه. هاي الخطط التنفيذيه مرتبطه بالمخصصات المرصوده في الموازنات السلطه والمشاريع اللي على ضوءها رصدنا المخصصات الرأسمالية.
Right. So, yeah, because different places call them different words. Now, in my country, we call it an annual performance plan that is built, that is done with and aligned to the budget for that particular financial year. You may call it an operational plan, you may call it a business plan, you can call it your executive plan. Okay, Muna?
Well, actually, strategic plan is a long term.
Talk in the mic, please.
Strategic plan is a long term, 3 to 5 years usually. But the executive plan is you take one program and you put all the stages, life cycle of the whole program from designing, then implementation, then measuring and evaluating and improvement. This is the executive plan and can be or should be for the 3 years of the budget. So executive plan from 1 to 3 years depending on the time duration of the program. But the operational plan, it's at the level of annual performance plan, is the operational. Who will do what? Detail.
Sorry, Muna? Yes, okay. Please, Muna. I think you're making it a bit confusing for them. I think they've kind of understood. Hold on. Let him say that,
It's again a language issue. أنا بدي أحكيها بالعربي.
he wants to say something and he's not agreeing with you. That's why.
Okay. تفضل.
Yeah. Okay, you want to translate it quickly? Oh.
رح أحكيها بالعربي كمان مرة معلش.
Okay.
Sandra, can I will talk in Arabic.
Oh.
الخطة الاستراتيجية هي اللي بين 3 ل5 سنوات وبتحكي فيها كل المشاريع اللي بدك تنفذها حتى توصل تحقق أول شيء المهام اللي حسب الرسالة والرؤية اللي بدك توصلها. هاي الاستراتيجية، لكن التنفيذية هي على عمر المشروع، كيف بدي أنفذ المشروع. فهي انه كيف بدي ابدا من البدايه حتى النهايه كل الخطوات حسب عمر المشروع، في مشاريع بخلص بسنه، في بسنتين، في بثلاثه، لكن يفترض انها ما تزيد عن 3 سنوات لانه انا عندي البادجت او الموازنه تاعتي 3 سنوات. اوكي؟ هلا عفوا التشغيليه اللي هي الاوبريشنال هي على مستوى انه انا بالسنه هاي مين بده يشتغل ايش؟ يعني بتفاصيل المهام اللي لازم كل واحد ينجزها عشان نتخطى مراحل لنوصل بسموها المايلستونز او الانجازات، وبالاخر ابلش اقيس شو حققت من اللي هي النتائج الفوريه والنتائج متوسطه المدى والنتائج النهائيه. شكرا.
Okay, are you clear now? So, what we are talking about is that, and I don't know, as I said, I don't know what you call it in your organization. You're going to tell me what you call it. You said executive plan. It's the 1-year plan, right? We say annual performance plan meaning for 1 year, right? It's not the plan that goes into the details of every project. Right, it's not the plan that goes into the details of every project. Every project owner will have a detailed plan for that year. Isn't that so? This document is a higher level. It is a consolidation. All right, it's a consolidation where we add up and we try and put our indicators. And we're going to say, for this year we are developing a we're enhancing our tourism strategy, right? And we're going to put it at a high level to say, for this year, we will achieve a strategy and we'll hold communication events.
بنسميها خطة سنوية.
Right. So it's high level. But at the project level, each project.
Strategic goal.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so it's your annual plan, right?
اسمها الخطة السنوية.
Right, so you understand. So that is where you will have your immediate outcomes. All right? Above that, every project owner will have their operational plans, right? Their project plan. Above that, we have the strategic plan, right? In the strategic plan, you have your intermediate outcomes. Because sometimes a project is 3 years, it's 5 years, but you're going to have what the outcome will be for that period, at the end of the period. Your intermediate. All right? And then the ultimate or the final impact, that is it comes in some other big policy document. Now, for example, you have your economic modernization policy, is that what it's called? Vision. Yeah, the economic modernization vision. Now, I haven't seen that document, but I'm assuming that in that document, there are some outcomes listed. Would that be correct, Omar? Right. So those are the impact, the things that they would want. And it most probably is what? How many years is it? 5, 10, 15, 30 years? 10 years.